Hello guys and welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. Once again, I'm Greg and this is the starting 11 show. I've got a bit of injury news as well as a sort of muddled prediction of what team I think Ancelotti might field against Spurs. This is a tough old task at the moment. Ancelotti is both coy in the team news he gives, injury updates, he's a little bit more secretive than maybe the fans would like him to be, but it's not such a bad thing when it comes to other managers preparing their structures. But also we seem to be getting injuries between the time of press conference and the actual match and the team lineup being announced. Last time Alan, Calvert-Lewin, Gbamin all injured in between the press conference and the actual match. So it's quite tough. The injury news we're currently going with, this might well be added to by the time the game kicks off, but we've got Pickford, Alan, King and Gomez all back into the lineup. That'll be a huge boost. That's players in pretty much every position that we need players back in. It would be nice to see Mina back, but the news is next week we'll have Calvert-Lewin, Mina, Delph and Bernard back in the team. Some of them obviously bigger names than others. The Calvert-Lewin injury is of course the big talking point there. It means we're going another game without our top striker, the man who's really kept us ticking through this season. It showed that we didn't have him against Brighton. We weren't making chances, and the chances that we were making, sometimes Calvert-Lewin would put them away, and it would flatter us because we didn't need to be making a lot of chances. It's we've been, if you listen to these kinds of things, we've been outstripping our expected goals, and Calvert-Lewin's clinical nature has been a big part in that. So lacking him has been huge. Of course, having King back may compensate. So going into the team, I'm going to stick with Olsen starting in goal. I think if Pickford's just coming back the way we are with injuries, don't risk anything. Olsen's not done anything wrong. Leave him in for now until Pickford's back fully, 100% fit. Back line is tough. I'm going to start with right back and say I thought Seamus Coleman was our best player against Brighton in defence and going forward. He really looked like he was trying to make things happen where other players weren't. He created a decent amount of chances for us as well. I think he's stepped up. He clearly wants to fight this season and push Everton to where we have the promise to be in one of those European slots. He is desperate for it. You can see it. Keep that on the pitch. Keep that heart, that fight. I'd like to see him more vocal with the other players, pushing them on. But in terms of upping his own performance to the level that it needs to be at, I think he's been doing that. So keep him in. Mina out, of course, means that it's got to be Godfrey, of course, at the moment, first name in that centre-back partnership. And I'm going to go with Keane over Holgate. I feel very bad for Holgate. Listen, he's out on the right for parts of the season. It doesn't flatter him. He's out in midfield last game. Didn't flatter him at all. He had a little stint there where it was quite successful. Tail end of last season. But it didn't work this time. Listen, it stops us. I think it was Kevin Campbell saying on the commentary, he was spot on. If you're sacrificing midfielders to have a defender in there, it's just going to hurt you going forward, and it really did. So I'm going to leave him out for now. On the left, of course, Luca Dean. We need chances to be made. He's one of the men who can make them. Going into midfield, Alan's back, so he has to go in. Non-negotiable. Absolutely non-negotiable. Next to him, I'm going to go with Tom Davis. I think he was playing a very strange role against Brighton. He was almost the receiver of diagonal crossfield balls from Luca Dean or pump balls forward. It was a very, it did not suit him at all. So when we're playing Spurs, we're going to have a lot of counter-attacking play for them. We need someone with a bit of mobility, maybe two more, slightly more defensively minded centre-backs, especially if Coleman and Luca Dean are going to be bombing forward. So I'd say Alan and Davies, provisionally. And then in front of them, I'll go with Andre Gomez if he's back. I think Gylfi Sigurdsson didn't do it for me personally. Really went back to his old self, the ghost as it is. I'm not saying James here because I think I'll put him out on the right for now. And bear in mind, this can be quite a fluid system. I'm not suggesting he's going to play as a winger. He obviously did early season, not as a winger, but as a sort of right-sided forward. And that's our most successful spell of the season. So let's kick him back out there for a little while. When we go forward, it's going to be the other two players I've got here, my forward and my left winger, who are more a sort of front two. James will tuck back in and it'll be more of a flat three of defenders behind them. So bear that in mind. But I'm going to have James out there. I'm going to have King up front. Let him earn his stripes. Let him earn his wages, paycheck. Put him up there. Richarlison, not very effectual, whatever the system was. I don't know what didn't suit them about it, but I'm trying to think back now. Was it Richarlison who started? Was it against Spurs in the cup that Richarlison was a striker and really did the job? I can't remember. I might be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong there. But it didn't work against Brighton. I think if we can get more pacey, strong forwards who can create and carve out chances, like I hope Josh King is. That's the profile I know of him from his Bournemouth days. So if we can get him in there, making a mischief of himself, getting on the end of chances, more like what Calvert-Lewin does, that would be great. And then that'll allow Richarlison to carry the ball forward from deep, which is much better suited for him, in my opinion. That's the team. Of course, there's so much room for change there. I want to know, first and foremost, what your team is. Let us know that below. But for me, it's Olsen in goal, Coleman, Godfrey, Keane, and Luca Dean as a backline. Tom Davies and Alan in the sort of holding midfield role, with Andre Gomez just in front of them being a little bit more creative. And then a front three of James, Josh King, and Richarlison. What I've tried to do there is follow the formula of what was working for us at the beginning of the season and put like-minded personnel where they can go. Let me know if you guys like that team, hate it, think we've got a chance, but let's hope for the best, and I will see you guys next time.